How are you? How you doing? Hi guys. What's up, you guys? Yesterday, I did a what is it called with you guys? Okay, yeah. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia. Today I am in my African outfit, y'all. Sorry guys, there's a message that just came. Just trying to read it. But what's up? How are you guys doing? How's life treating you? Welcome, 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 welcome. I want to see my dress. I'm wearing a dress today. A dress. So, yesterday I was talking about a topic that is very dear to my heart. And let me bring my microphone here. It's like I'm far away from the microphone. All right, that's pretty good. So, let me set up the binder or the bander. Is that what it's called? Banners, topics. I can't talk. Oh, I can't talk. All right. So today we're talking about time and change. We briefly touched on that yesterday, and I really want to dive deep into that because I was getting to my groove yesterday and then the network cut off. But happy Sunday. I think this is first Sunday, right? No, no. no. Second Sunday. Yeah, this is second Sunday. First Sunday was last week. You guys, that's my family. The kids are giving dads hard time. So just in case if you hear them going cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. But you're gonna see me duplicate. I'm gonna duplicate myself, and so that way I can actually put the topic up. Um, Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia. I am your host. I'm excited to be here. You guys were 1 year of doing this podcast is sneaking in real quick. And I got a few things that I'm working on that I want us to do for our 1 year. So y'all bear with me as I put this banner topic up. My people, you know what I mean. Anyways. So time and change. That's what we're talking about. The reason I want us to talk about it is because I feel like a lot of people have not really understand how that affects every aspect of your lives. And once you become very strong and you understand how to properly handle those two things, I feel like you could be successful at doing anything. I am not mastering that yet. I am a work in progress, but I think I've come a long way and now I understand how time and change affects everything. So I'm here to talk to you about it. Okay, so let's talk about it. You guys, I'm gonna mute myself really quick. Little lady's coming. You guys, sorry, I had to mute myself. That's my little daughter, the birthday girl. So yesterday, if you didn't watch, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love you pour on our little girl. Um, she definitely, I think she knew that it was a special day, and I think she knew it was her day. So she woke up in the morning. So now I do drop off and then dad do pick up. So she woke up in the morning. She was like, "Mommy, mommy, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me." Ah, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. I wonder who she brings. Oh, Yahweh Zuo. So, guys, it's Sunday. We got to really get into this topic. And so we can get out of here. Um, so, we're talking about how does time and change affect. We're going to continue that topic. Yesterday, I did not exhaust every ounce of it. So, I really want us to continue that. And how does time and change affect our relationship? And just to add a little bit something on it, how do we effectively manage change in time? Or time change? This so is thinking well, consent change. How do we effectively, like, you guys? I listened to Dr. Miles, the late Dr. Miles um, Monroe, and I can't believe if anybody have never listened to him, I don't know what you're listening to. You're missing out. Especially if you're a kingdom person. You're missing out. I will tell you now. You are missing out, my friend. You're missing out. And you better get a grip of that ASAP. Mm, mm, mm. You guys, I was just looking at this. The past week, I haven't been active on here. Um, so at the hospital, we're jumping into flu season, and that is a strenuous time for us because it's super busy. So let me give you guys an idea of the outpatient that I work at. We see almost, this is a small outpatient facilities. We see almost, just at that location, we see almost ready? 750 members a day. That's almost 1,000. So I got my work cut out for me. There's a lot going on. So I try to, what is it called? You guys, you're gonna see me on here twice. Please don't worry. I'm gonna be putting the topic up so we can get started. We're already 10 minutes into this. In the next 10 minutes, we're gonna get started. So let me jump in here. I'm gonna sneeze. Mute myself. I was sneezing, so I had to mute myself. I don't want you guys to hear that. So one more button. Oh, that's so that's my daughter, and then making flower. Palawo. They're making flower again. Echo. How does time and change affect relationship, and how do we effectively manage time and change? Mhm. Yes. Mhm. No. You guys, this is what happened when you guys want me to have the show early. Okay. I'm on live, guys. Oh my gosh. I'll mute myself. All right. Hi, guys. I'm back. Sorry for that silent moment, but we're going to jump into the topic now. I just went ahead. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Being a mommy and trying to do this show early is definitely not my best suit, but let's jump into it. All right, so let me share the show and then we get started. You're probably like, Echo, what did I say here today? Oh. Felicia. Y'all, please share the show. So, on behalf of my family, just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love you show to our baby girl. Wishing her happy birthday, sending her gifts, calling in, texting, posting. All of that was definitely part of the celebration. And we greatly appreciate that. The midweek birthday was definitely not my best pursuit, but we made the birthday a success. We didn't have a party this year, but we definitely celebrate at a school with her friends, and I think she really had a nice time. So it was great to actually go to school. I made some goodies bags for them, and we took it there. And if I'm being honest, I actually missed the birthday at school. I was late coming from work because I was running late. I was literally on 2 hours of sleep. And when I made it in, they only gave us 30 minutes, but dad was there. So everything kind of worked out. I dropped everything up early and then went to work. And then when I was heading back, I got caught up in traffic. And right when I got there, everything was gone. So but she had fun, those pictures, except mommy wasn't there. So she knows mommy loves her. So that's all that matters. But yeah, you guys, welcome to Let's Talk with Miss P. My name is Felicia. I am your host. I know we haven't been too consistent on here. You guys, I am the first person who to tell you that I noticed that. But again, speaking of the timing and changes, that's what I'm going through. I'm not really great at change, but I think I am doing really good with it and accepting everything that comes along in life. You just got to be able to adjust to whatever life throws at you. So right now I am in my season of accepting change and timing. So with that being said, let's jump to the topic this afternoon. So it said, how does time and change affects our relationship? It change, you know, the number one thing in life and aspect of our life that we can never ever control is definitely time and change. Because I hate having the show and all this noise in the background, but we are going to make it through. Okay, we're gonna make it through. We have an hour. So I already ate up some of the time. So we're gonna be out of here by 6:20. 6:20, okay? So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. How does that affect our lives? So when we look at time and changes, it's definitely the key to failure and also the key to success. You know, you hear everybody says, oh, maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe, how do you know it was the right time on that? Oh, maybe I don't have enough time to, entertain this. I don't have enough time. You will never ever have enough time. And if you're somebody who's looking to add somebody into your lives, then you should know that the change in timing is definitely inevitable and is not something that you can control. You are going to have a plan for life in order for you to actually work through it and accept it, right? So, how does it affect our relationship? Yesterday, I tried to kind of like touch on that a little bit, and I really wanted us to dive deep into it. When we look at our relationship, the first time we meet, it's all about love. Nobody's really thinking about, oh, time and how this person's going to change tomorrow. Literally, we change the next day because whatever was happening today is not the same thing that's happening tomorrow or yesterday or whatsoever the day is. Whatever this time is, this 6:22 p.m. right now, Eastern Standard Time. I have never sat here like this before at this time on this date and talked to you about this topic before. So once we kind of like understand that all of these is inevitable and is not going to, like there's nothing you can do to change it, then it makes life a little bit easy to adjust. So before I even go further, let me give you guys an example. So I have a group of team. I manage a group of people. If I'm not mistaken, I think they caught my FP. So I have a total of 30 something people that I manage currently, right? And I have two people that reports to me directly to actually lead the team. And the problem with that is when, so I just took over that department, and what they were used to, it was different. They were used to a style of someone who just, how do I say it without being rude? Like they cared, but I guess they just expected them to do anything without follow up. And for me, I am not that type of leader. I am the type that I tell you to do something and I come back. I want to follow up on that. So it's like that style of change that they're not used to is greatly impacting their lives. But if they have prepared themselves and know that, one, the new person that's coming, there's going to be changes, then it makes it easier for them to accept whatever it is that's happening. Right? Same thing. When I knew I was taking on this group of people, I already prepped myself because I already knew who was overseeing that department. And I had conversation with them. And I prepped myself to know that one, A, this is possibly could go this way, and this could go the other way. And if it goes great, and that's fine. But I started mentally preparing myself to know that it could either go great or it could go worse. And if it go great, great for me. But if it go wrong, then what do I do? What are the process? How do I start prepping my mind to accept those things? And how do I adjust to that? So that's why change in time is something that you really do not have control over, but you have to prepare yourself to accept whatever come along the way. And when we tie this to our relationship, you have to know that you're two people that coming from a different walk of life. Everybody was raised differently. There are certain things that are embedded in them and that it will never change. No matter what you do, they will never change that. But they can adjust along on the way to make the relationship work. They're gonna adjust and say, okay, you know what? I want this person and I think they're a good partner. So let me adjust. And in that adjustment process, you cannot put time frame on it. You have to let the individual accept that. So that's why I wanted us to talk about this because in my opinion, I think a lot of relationships are dying because people are not understanding that timing and change is something that they do not have control over, and they're not willing to accept the changes that come, and then see how that fits within the season that they're in to work along with that. So, number one, what are some of the aspects of our lives that time and change affects? So, yesterday I started talking about, I think I went on the rant talking about how love is just, how love is just love and it's not part of the relationship. And I think when everybody starts to understand that love in itself is something that is not, it's some of the perks that comes with relationship. Definitely, definitely. And it's important because feelings are things that change day to day depending on the circumstances around you. So once you understand that, yes, this person do love me, they like me enough to want to be with me, but then also needs to know that that likeness can change. Kind of like you love to dance, right? Let's give an example. You love to dance at certain time of your life, you're not going to like to dance because one, it doesn't fit in that season of your life. For instance, if you're somebody who's 90 years old and you used to like to dance, I know people are going to say if that's something they've been doing for a long time, they can still do it. Yes and no, because at that time of your life, the energy and time that you have, you cannot put that into that dance routine that you've been doing. You can sit there and imagine and enjoy somebody else doing it, but at that chapter, at that time of your life, it's not going to work. And then now, this is where I feel like it fit into relationships. Let's say you met your partner. You guys didn't have children, you're young, you're vibrant, you're making good money, and all you guys talk about is traveling, right? And then boom, you get pregnant, and boom, baby comes. And then we women start to say, he changed after the baby came. No, he didn't change. Life changed. A lot of things change. You changed. A lot of things change. But how did you guys prepare yourself? I think if you have a plan to understand that life circumstances are going to come with time and changes, then you can be able to adjust to that. Like you're going to understand, yes. For instance, for the men, right? Your wife is pregnant, and we all know most pregnant women are not best with being intimate. And now you're not prepared for that. Because if you educate yourself enough and you understand that along this way, this is things that happen normally, and then your understanding of it is easier for you to navigate that. But if you can't, and now all you're saying, oh, she's refusing me since she got married, she doesn't want to be intimate with me, guess what? Then you step out. You're not prepared for that season of your lives. And that's where the timing and changes of life affects your relationship. So time and change can affect your relationship in a positive way or it can affect it in a negative way. Let's look at the positive way, right? Change could be your financial change. Financially, you got a raise and now the job demand more. Kind of like I'm gonna give myself that. So my my role at work changed and the department that I cover changed. So now the demand for work is more and I got a finance increase, right? So the demand for that changed. And now it demands for me to be available to my team at certain time. So if I'm not aware and accepting of that, I start thinking, well, I'm doing too much for this company. Why am I here? And if I don't understand what my goals are in that role and why did I even accept it in the first place, then that's where it affects me in a negative way. Does that make sense? I haven't shared the show. Let me share it. Oh my gosh. You guys got me all routed up now. And you guys, my daughter, I don't know what she and her brother is doing, but they are fighting. And it's not pretty in there. They're fighting. They are fighting. They're always fighting. But dad is with her. Both of them are fighting. Hey, Riverside Pro, how are you? I forgot I didn't share the show. I just realized, so I need to share it, you guys. I need to share it. Ah, yeah, yeah, this is crazy. I gotta share the show. Riverside Pro, welcome. Y'all, please share the show. Yeah, big y'all. Oh, my Bazilian. Support your Basa sister here. Even though I've been running 1,000 miles an hour lately. Yes, support me. Yes, support girl. Yes, support the girl. Yes, support your Bazoli and yeah. So loud. Y'all don't know, by some people taking over. My husband said I have to clean Basa. I shouldn't clean the Manasa. Hey, let me take a poll right now because he said if I was only a minor girl, I won't look fine. Is it true, my people? You tell me. You tell me now. Because I'm asking some fine minor people now. I don't know about y'all. So according to him, I'm fine. Okay. According to him, I'm fine because I get Basa blood in me. So you tell me now. According to him, I said me, I said him. According to the people Bible song and his sister, did she watching? She said, she said, she also said, my children are fine because of the Bible blood. You see the discrimination y'all be doing. You see, my daddy was a fine man of man. I'm telling you, he was a fine man of man. Don't get me wrong now, my mama, she's fine. I only. That lady there, Pastor Jew, she's fine. River Sespro, River Sespro say, Mana are fine, Gil are. Anyway, yeah, I want to ask again, say, oh, River Sespro. All my mana people, my Gil people, you can watch ya. Babwa, 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 oh, eat a man. When I say that, he be dying. That's the only mana I know. My people. My people, I forgot to share the show. Yeah, please share the show, man. I beg you, y'all share. Y'all come on now. I know I haven't been consistent. I've been all over the place. Well, I'm about to calm down now, okay? Because the cool weather coming, we can't be driving all over now. You know, we be trying to take the kids. Yesterday, I definitely couldn't come live. That's a good question. Just changing different, the aspect of change, River says proof. Like just change. Anything, the idea of a change in your life in general. I didn't want to specify that, but just change in general. Like it could be financial change, it could be individual change, it could be, change in physical, change in behavior, just change as a whole. How does that affect your relationship? That's what I really mean with this. I didn't want to be specific because I know there are different changes, but in general, how does change? How do you accept that in your relationship? How does it affects you? Can change? I know it can be positive, negative, but I also think it just depends on the individual that's talking about the change. If that makes any sense. So before you came on, I think you've been watching. All right, you guys, I share the show now. Did I pin the link in the comment section? Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me pin the link in the comment section. Y'all see? Y'all have to be telling me all this stuff. I have thousands of things on my mind. And these days, I'm actually on call. So my phone could ring at any time. Um, but guess what? I have a great team and I never receive any calls on the weekends. So kudos to them. I have a really good team. Some of them are kind of like headache, but some of them are headache. But the hardest people to manage in life, I think, are adults. Adults are definitely the hardest individuals of people, a group of people to manage. They are, oof, yeah. When I tell y'all, it be something else. Like this morning, I had to call the team just to see how things were going and to do a quick little huddle with them. And of course, the supervisor's talking to the other gentleman, and he's like, "You're not the manager. I don't report to you." And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir. You don't talk to him that way." Like, what is wrong with people? Just because you didn't get the instruction from me doesn't mean the instruction coming from the guy is not valid. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so people are hard to manage, but adults are the hardest people to manage. I am telling you guys. Like they are so stuck in their ways and they just don't, yeah, I'm just don't. It is something else. Yeah, want to tell you that's something else? Y'all believe me. So let's go back to the topic. So yeah, River says, bro, the change that I'm talking about is just kind of like a change in general. Like, how do you accept that? So if you look at change in a general aspects, it's something that's inevitable and is not going to be something that you have control over. And I think most people in general do not understand that. They just be like, oh, I don't like change. Well, things are changing every day. Every aspect of your life is changing every day. Once you have a plan for your relationship and you understand that each of you guys are individuals and you're going to grow apart, but well, wrong word. Wrong word, you guys. You're going to grow separately, but that separate growth needs to come together to make a whole, which means you need, as a unit, you need to have a vision for your relationship, right? And that vision, you need to know along the road there's going to be changes, which means somebody's going to look physically, they're going to change, emotionally, they're going to change. And but then is understanding how do you handle that when that comes? Like, what do you do in that part of life when it happens? What are you going to do about it? How do you handle it? For instance, I give an example about woman childbearing because I think that's the common that most people complain about. Okay, she had children, she changed. Duh, you didn't know that her genetics and every aspect of her is going to change. She had kids. But and then you, the individual, like as a woman, you know that that change is going to come. How do you prepare yourself to adjust to that, to look almost similar to what it is you are, instead of you completely saying, well, I'm going to change anyway, so you just got to accept it how it is. So then, if you expect that individual to accept how it is, are you also willing to accept when they change in their feelings for you? I'm just giving that example so that we kind of like understand that. It's not one way or the other. It's all together. So for instance, right, if you prepare yourself mentally and know that, yeah, that's gonna happen. So then what do I do to help you to fix that? And what do you do to help me understand how to accept that? That's where I'm talking about, like the general. Yeah. So if we wanted to look at physical change, right? Physical change in relationship could be, something you see, right? One, you see how that person used to approach you, their change, their tone, the way they talk to you, maybe that respect and regard they have for you as a man or as a woman in a relationship. They're not looking at that anymore because most people get comfortable in relationship. They don't see that value anymore. We hear this a lot, especially from women. Oh, when he first wanted me, he did everything and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he didn't have you, so he wanted you. So now you have to understand what were you doing that he was chasing? And you guys, this past week, I understand the word cleave in Hebrew language, what it means. You know how we said, a man will leave his parents and cleave to his own wife. You know how the Bible says that. But I actually learned what that means in Hebrew. It means that you're chasing. So you got to make yourself chaseable, right? If God is saying A man's gonna leave his family and chase you. You gotta be chaseable, right? So when that change comes, how do you adjust yourself in order for him to continue to chase you, and vice versa? When you, the man, because men are changing too, please. Y'all be growing stomach out here. Y'all be talking about women when they have babies. I don't understand, but to get myself in trouble. Y'all be talking about women. Oh, since she had child, she does look this way. And sometimes, especially at work, when we go for lunch, me and my colleagues, and most of them are guys, and they will be talking about how I remember a gentleman, he said something about, man, it's so difficult, when women have children, they change so much. It's just like it makes it difficult for you to even love them. And I'm just like, wow, change your attitude, sir. Like, you don't understand what it takes and what women go through, especially women that go through the pregnancy by themselves. The man might be present but absent, right? That's another physical change because they are taking on everything and then now has to deal with raising the kids. And I hate to say deal with when it comes to children, but it really is like that because you have to think about their eating, clothing, food, all of the changes that come along with that. And now you're sitting here, it's difficult for you to love them, which means you did not prepare yourself. And Riva says Pro came in hot with this one. Let's see, what did you say? Riva says Pro said physical or cosmetic changes does affect relationship. Most men will just pretend they feel the same about the woman they met and has 5 children now. Right, right, right. And that's why for me, I am a realist. Like, I am a realist, if I can say that. I like for people to tell me how it is. And before someone even tell me that I change, I'm very, very self-aware and I understand everything that's going on. And I think that's what most women don't understand. That sometimes I think the men feel obligated to make you feel feel better, I mean, because they don't want to knock you down, especially when you're already at that stage, you're going through a lot. And it is difficult to maintain your weight. To be honest, I never thought, people used to tell me, and I would say, "Oh yeah, 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 I like to work out," and I would still work out. But other aspects of your lives really take over everything. So even if I like to work out, so if I'm being honest, you guys, since I had my second daughter, I have not committed to fully worked out. I haven't. I've only been controlling what I eat and what I drink. And I'm also going to say, like, since I have my daughter, I have actually been more focused on like the worst food that I shouldn't eat. That's what I've been eating. Like, I never used to like eat cookies or drink soda or anything like that. But during that pregnancy, like my hormones changed. And those are the only things that I was surviving on. And after that, now, every now and then I do want dessert and things like that. And that was stuff that I would never, never, ever interested in. And slowly, slowly, as time is going on, I'm actually getting back to myself where I don't want those things. But I will say, like the beginning of like 1 year when she was 1 year old, and now she's two, that was something that was so difficult to manage because and that's where I feel like people don't understand. And I think that's where some men come in. They're like, no, it's okay. But I also like want to remind women it's not okay. Because if a man liked you, you have to think about it in reality, right? Someone met you how you were and they said that was what they were interested in. And now you're completely someone else. Well, you're the same person, but physically you're someone else. And now they're telling you that's fine, I don't have a problem with it. This is where you should start asking questions, right? Well, if you didn't have a problem with it, if I was like this and didn't have any children, would that be something you want? And 9 times out of 10 is no. So they then you should get your answer, know that they're just saying it to make you feel better. And now you need to have a best course of action, how to handle yourself going forward. And it takes time, it's a lot of work. And of course, like you're busy, it's hard to put time into it and to maintain that. But there's two things you have control over: the timing you eat and the things you eat, right? And I know sometimes you just gotta mush, but when you really do start to hustle and bustle, you have to have a plan. And that's where I think that's how physical, and that's how time. So time, we all have, you'll hear a lot. We will all say, I don't have enough time. Like I'm so busy. Yes, we're all busy, but we all have 7 days a week and we all have 24 hours in a day. We each chooses what we prioritize. So if in your relationship, your partner is changing and you have the time, you put in the time to make sure you prioritize that relationship because you owe everything to it. You chose to be part of that. And that's why it's important to understand you can't control that. It's gonna keep happening. Time is passing every day. That's why, when I listened to Dr. Miles's sermon, I think it was about planning. If you do not plan your life, you're always gonna get the last end of the steak. Does that make sense? Meaning, if you don't have plans for your relationship, you should always have plan of where you want to see it in the next year. You can't keep doing the same thing. We are in September, right? Oh, that's a good one. You guys are reading Riverside. Riverside for always have good questions. He said, what would be the best way a man can tell his children mother to go do her hair, hit the gym, etc., without her getting offended about her looks? Perfect. So I think people like to talk about themselves. If I learn anything, so if I told you guys, I was so shy to the point where I could never ever stand in front of anybody to talk to them. You, I asked my team I worked about it, and they said, "No way, no way! You're so assertive, and you say things, and there's exude a lot of energy." And let me tell you, there's a way you tell somebody to clean a toilet, and they clean it to the best of their ability and come back and tell you thank you for doing it. Yeah, I promise you, I have done it. So, how do you tell somebody or your wife or your children mother how to do that? One, you talk about the old days. You know, people like to talk about themselves. And this is why these little moments in relationship, like with your partners, is very, very important. You have to continuously have conversation with each other. This is what in a day, maybe take like 10 minutes. You don't even need a lot of time. You just need 10 minutes. You can prioritize 10 minutes and you guys have a conversation. Or maybe you say in a joking way, depending on how your relationship is. Like in my relationship, it's a lot of funny comments we say throughout the day. Sometimes my hair is a hot mess and he'll be like, Hi, young guy. So, how we're going to be today? So you got to understand the individual you're dealing with first. If there's somebody who gets offended really fast, then you have to figure out how to word it. So instead of you directly saying, "Hey, you need to do your hair," I'm gonna be offended and be like, "Well, I'm doing everything, blah blah blah." Maybe if you're the man, if there's a lot the person do around the house, you pick up the chores and say, "Hey, today, I'm gonna do all these things so you can have some time to yourself." And then maybe throw in a little joke and say, "I think that hair need plaiting or here, that's something else. Go get your hair done. Enjoy yourself. I'll take care of everything today." I think that's an easier way to do it. But another way to really do that, maybe pull out the album, pull out the first date, you know, pull out your maybe not first date, maybe the picture you took together that you really enjoy how she was looking or he was looking in that moment. And then just say, "Hey, come on, you know what? Let's sit here and watch a movie." And then you pull out a phone or you pull out whatever pictures you have and say, I want us to look over this. Let's look at this. You guys, y'all gotta pay me for all these tips. Women are very, very interesting. So you pull that on and you look at it and say, do you remember that time when we were going to X, Y, and Z? I really like how you used to do your hair all the time. Um, what do you think I could do to help you to do your hair more? You know, that's an easy way I think you can do it to ease somebody because 9 times out of 10, I think women cares about their hair more than anything else, unless they're not mean, but they care about their hair a lot. They would rather do their hair. I know I talked to a young lady. She's like, if I don't do my hair and my nails, I feel like a boy. And I'm like, if I don't do my hair, I feel ugly. So I have to do my hair. So the easy way I would say you could do that is probably like, make it conversational. And the reason I said I was somebody who never used to talk is because I went to a training program called Dale Carnegie. And this is where young people, it's like a influential to teach you about public speaking and how to be a great leader. And right out of high school, I am so grateful to this high school teacher. She enrolled me and I signed up and I was one of those people who won the scholarship. And I went there for 6 months to teach you about etiquettes and how to communicate and how to talk with people. So I went through that program for 6 months. And I will tell you guys that was one of the greatest gifts anybody could ever give me because I feel like today when I sit and look back and I look at what I'm doing with my life career wise, how would I have ever been able to do it, not being able to even lift my head up and look at people and talk to them, right? I was so shy to the point where if you talk to me, I just nod my head and said, okay. And some people really thought I was crazy or I was, in the African term, I was mumu or I was stupid or, bobo or something like that. But that was one of the greatest gift I feel like a teacher ever gave to me. I remember I was graduating and she's like, you have been one of my great students in my English class. You write really good. But your public speaking, you're very shy. And the best way for you for it, I think you should apply for the scholarship. And when I applied for it, I went to Dale Carnegie. And Dale Carnegie, how they break you down to really start to speak. And you guys, they're not promoting me, so I'm just telling you guys what I experienced with them. And the teacher that I had, I remember his name to this day. His name is Mr. Johnson. His name is Mr. Johnson. And he said, Felicia, Dale Carnegie, their core process is how to win a friend with a smile. And he told me people best conversations is about themselves. And the best way you can start to have conversation, hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. And he said, Shooter Rafe. Welcome. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but welcome to the show. So he said to me, he said, the best way how to win people over is with a smile and then ask them a question about them. Once you ask people a question about them, it is easy for you to have conversation. Hey, Benny, welcome to the show. It is easy for you to have conversation with them. So that's the reason I'm saying is because in order for you to really tell someone how to do their hair, how to do this and do that in a relationship, it's great when you start the conversation to have them talk about themselves. Maybe ask a question. What's something will you change today if you had one thing taking off? What is something you would do first? You know, somebody will tell you what they're uncomfortable with. Maybe they'll say, maybe I like to do my hair more. So instead of you coming out and telling the person, I need you to do your hair, this is that, this is what you know, don't make it about you. Make it about that person and say, hey, if I was to do this, what is something you would change about your look? Or not that I'm asking you to change, maybe not use the word change because change usually people associate it with a negative connotation, right? So instead of you saying change, maybe tell them what's something you would do for yourself if you had the opportunity to do. And I think that's a great way to start with Versus Pro. What he say again? He said, boom, he shows you the photo of your friends. River says, Pro, you're gonna be sleeping in the doghouse. I think that's the wrong way to go about it. You do not want to show someone, because let me tell you, women are aware when they don't look the best. I don't care what woman it is, they don't know their best. They don't look their best. They ignored it. They pretend they don't see it, and because they want to cover it up or make themselves feel good. And I think something in our generation that people are starting to do that really irks me, you guys, they get on my nerves, is they try to support bad behaviors. And it's like, instead of you being honest about something, you like, I see a lot of people that have friends, and their friends are, in a really great shape, and they don't look good. And then the friends will be there telling them, no, you look great like that. So if I look great like that and I'm your friend, why are you not looking the same? So people are very honest with each other. Maybe don't offer your opinion before someone asks for it. But if you're the man, that is a no no. You never, ever, ever do that. Come on. Whoever says wrong. You will be sleeping in the doghouse by yourself for a very long time if you show someone else pictures and say, I want you to look like that. No, you probably could do that, but the person has, it depends on your relationship again. It depends on how that happens. So if your partner physically changed, right? What's the cause that they're changing? For example, I'll give you guys one example. I had a work colleague. She was looking so good. Not that she still doesn't look good, she's beautiful. But she started working from home. We all know during COVID, everybody worked from home. And working from home, she started eating a lot, and she ended up weighing 250 pounds. That is a lot for somebody who weighed 150 to 250 pounds in just a year and a half. That's a lot. You don't even have children you're taking care of. You're just home and you're just there. No, that is, to me, that's overkill. So she was telling me her partner, because I think they weren't married. I'm not sure what this gentleman is asking. Star, please? You want stars? I don't understand. You're supposed to give me stars. You're asking me for stars? This is crazy. See, where does he come from? So instead of her, her partner came and told her, you've been working from home and you gain a lot of weight. You need to lose weight. Some relationship is okay to say that, because like how you guys communicate, and your partner. But if you know your partner is someone who's very sensitive and always on edge, you want to be very careful what you say. You can't just show somebody else pictures, because now you're opening the can of worm for something else. The person could be saying, okay, are you talking to that person? Are you cheating? Well, because you just opened the room for all of that. So instead of you saying that, Reba says, Pro, tell the friend that did that, she never ever do that again in their life, because change is hard, and it's hard to accept, and it's hard to implement. But what you can do, like what I said, the best course of action is one, you tell the individual, one, hey, let's talk about it. Maybe take off some of the workload that they do and say, hey, take this money, go do something for yourself today. You know, I think that's the best way to do that, because then they feel like you care. You don't want to tell someone stuff and it doesn't feel like you cared about them. It's all about caring. You gotta care and be compassionate. Have some compassion on that person, because there are a lot of things you don't know. Maybe they were stressed, they gained weight, or they had the baby. Like you said, five. Whoosh, five children, they could take a toll on your life. I had two, and my weight be fluctuating. I be going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Even though I haven't really worked out, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even have the time. Okay, I have the time, but I haven't prioritized that part of it. I know this beginning of the year, that was one of my goals to incorporate more workouts into things I used to do. I could do it actually, but I haven't prioritized it because I figure out a way how to balance what I eat and things like that. And it helped me to look in a way that I feel comfortable with. But in the near future, I definitely know that for bone and health wise, I do need to keep moving. And also, I will add my job, I am always on my feet because it's a hospital. I'm always walking around, but that is not a workout because your body get used to it and the mechanic of it does not affect that, but I'm active, my bones are moving. It's just I'm not putting in the work that I know how I look before. I know how I can look. Before I have my kids, I know how I look. So that would be helpful. Hold on one second, you guys. You guys, I'm telling dad that little girl is probably sleepy. That's why she's being cranky. So he's gonna try to put her to bed. But yeah, you guys, River Surf Pro, no, no is a no. Don't show them nobody pictures. You can't get on the link? Uh-uh. Let me post it again. Let's see. Let's see. What happened to the link? Let me go back to it. Let's see. Ay, ay, ay. StreamYard. StreamYard acting funny? Oh, wow. You guys, let's go to StreamYard. Why is it doing that? My- Okay. Let me try to post it again, okay? Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Y'all can see. Y'all can see what the Lord has done for me. I'll keep my day job. Singing is not part of it. Ah, yaka yaka. All right, I just posted it again. Let's see. All right, try again. Reverse S Pro. Let's see. All right. So, how does it affect your life? Change. Let's go to my notes here. I have a few notes that I want us to go over um, to talk about it. So we all know time and change. Time and change can affect our relationship in many ways. It could be positive, it could be negative. But routine that are natural and need can be spontaneous over time. So change can provide a break from this monotone. So if changes are happening, that's something that can slower the rate of routine. So if you're a routine based, oh, there's Rose coming. I don't know what's happening.
What's up?
All right, you can hear me.
Yeah, yeah. How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just making a quick contribution because I'm supposed to be on another. So
Sure.
Fee. Okay, so summertime. I met you. These ladies got all the nice shorts. Wintertime. You not change. You know what I mean? All that shininess now move on you. The whole skin. Fee, expect me to stay there? I go. I beg you.
Yeah. Ain't you see I hear that?
Ah, like, what's this person I met during the summertime? Is that you? Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's bro. That's why you have to mentally prepare yourself and know that change will happen every day.
Yeah, but yeah, let me just make a quick point. So, Fee, I was
Mm.
on this show, and this lady, she said she was with this guy for almost 5 years. I think somebody brought somebody from Latvia, but she said, I mean, that's the reason. I brought all that photo thing. He did
Right,
not do it exactly like that, but she said it was always badish, kind of comparison. Oh,
right,
all your friend, and she said for her mindset was different. She tried to be a productive person, save
right,
money. So she was not into extravagant life, the dressing. But he didn't, he was one of those kind of people. He wanted his woman to be fly, they go out. When they say white party, they dress up all white, but she was not like that. So he kept according to her, I mean, eventually they kind of separated, but according to her, the man kept calling, "Oh, look at your friend Cecilia over there. Look at Cecilia and her man. They look like her makeup, her hair, and this." And she said there was constant comparison, and her view of the world or her view of their life was completely contrary to how he saw it. He just wanted them to look like celebrity couples. But she was trying to
right.
save them. She trying to kind of, that kind of play low. Just do her thing, dress a regular African lapa. But no, he didn't want that. He wanted her
Oh,
to be.
Lapa.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what you think about such situation where he was, constant comparison, and then at the end she could not because he wanted change. He wanted her to change according to his vision, according to how he.
Right.
But she apparently, I think she came from maybe some of our people from Lofa, from that grew up in a village. Let besides village, there are some people who even me when I was coming up, what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Some of us we not into wearing red shoes, red socks, red. We were just regular people. So I think that's the
right.
kind of person she was. That's the kind of home she came up in. But he was a whole different character. So what do you think of such people when I mean such relationship where somebody is forcing change on another? Because I remember one time, even you said, I think we discussed it on the show about
Yeah,
where sometimes people want the other partner to, even though you got BSc, I want you to get PhD, those
yeah,
kinds of things. But then you are not, you ask yourself, is that what I want for myself? But this is what a man want because he looking at your status in society. He's a top bra in the area. He don't want a wife that got associate degree. He want a wife that he can be competitive with his neighbor, with his co-workers. So what do you think? How much pressure does that put on people, on relationship? Those kind of change, those immediate change that are wanted by one partner. How much pressure does it put on the relationship?
that's a lot to expect from someone. And I think if I'm being really honest, I think like they both did not really have those true conversation. Or if they did have it, somebody was not being very honest on the other end because she already knew who she was and he just accepted it and found a way to kind of like get out of that relationship. Immediate change is something because change is something that happened over time. And that's why I said time is something that you can't change and you will never ever have control over. Things are going to be happening, but you're going to have vision for your relationship separately, and then that vision has to tie to the vision that you both have together. So I think he was really, yeah, I'm just gonna say he was wrong. And in the way he did it, even if you wanted to influence your partner to change or to satisfy your ego, there's a different way how you effectively do that. Like what I was saying, incorporate the person into the change so that way that's something that they want. It's different if it was a job where somebody has the option to choose or to walk away, but this is a relationship. This is something where people are growing each and every day. And I felt like on his hand, maybe he was not honest with himself because if he saw her, unless when they started the relationship, she was certain way, and that's what he thought. And some people really don't speak on those things because they see you like that and they're like, okay, maybe this is how she is. And then now when it gets to the nitty gritty, you're like, oh no, that's not me. I was just doing it just for that moment. So, but I also think if he really wanted the relationship, there was a way how they both could communicate. I know we talk on here about strategic communication. There's a way how you really tell somebody to do certain things, and then they do it. And I was listening to someone to talk about, people that are manipulative leaders, mastermind and manipulative leaders. And then they have some people that are natural leaders. And, I try to listen to those things because I try to understand for myself to see the type of leader I am, So in that way, he being the head of the household, he was a manipulator. That's like you're masterminding manipulating someone and then being a dictator at the same time. Because if you met this lady and she was a certain way and you're like, okay, now this is how I want you to be, okay, all right, River says pro, no worries. If you met someone and you guys didn't really have that conversation fully to, exhaust everything that you're interested in, like you have to talk about things that you like and not just interview people. And I think that's something about a relationship that I don't really like. I don't like that beginning stage where people are just asking questions because people are going to tell you what it is you want to hear because in that moment they like what's happening. So they're gonna tell you, like, you tell them, do you like to go to the movies? Oh yeah, I like to go to the movies. Or what do you like to eat? Like I like this. No, I feel like in order instead of you asking this question, maybe make it like kind of like a conversation. Oh, let the conversation flow. Like saying like, okay, I like going to the movie. These are movies that I like to watch and things like that. Or these are movies that I like to watch. And half of the time, even though I watch it at home, but I like to go to the movies as well. And then you leave that open ended so somebody else can get in. Because genuinely, when you have conversation like that, you can tell when people are lying. People are very, you know, some, especially women, let me just say this. I think women say things because based on one, they're looking at someone who can financially take care of them. Also, men will lie because they like women. Men likes women to boost their ego. One, she's super gorgeous. Two, she's making money and she can take care of, you know whatever it is she match or fly. Three, if she walks outside, that's the girl everybody wants. So like anything to boost the ego, that's what I want. But in this 2020, in this 21st century, we know men are looking for women that have money too. That's something that we're seeing. Everybody's trying to look for something that complements or add more to their lives. So River says, bro, I think that man, he was wrong in a way. If even he wanted her to change or kind of like influence her way how she dresses and things like that, he could start out by saying, when we first met, I really like your style, I like how you were. Can you tell me why now you switch it up? That's a conversation. He's entitled to knowing that because if you were someone that you were wearing jeans and you were doing your hair, doing your nails when you guys first met in that first 6 months, and all of a sudden you guys are living together, and then now that's it. And then also that's something too, maybe if when he was in Liberia and before he can, he also needs to understand, and maybe she need to make it known that hey, at that time when I used to come over there, I was on vacation. So I prep and prepare myself for vacation mode. So when I'm home, I'm comfortable. This is what I'm comfortable in. So it could have been a conversation. And then also she could have also told him, like, I really do not appreciate you telling me and comparing me to somebody else. I think that is the way to break a relationship by in my opinion, that is the number one way you can break your relationship by comparing your spouse or your significant other to somebody else because no two person is the same. Everybody are individuals. And in general, you don't want to compare people with other people because you don't know how that person is earning that. And, if he was so here's the thing, sometimes too, I don't understand about men. I feel like if you want your wife or your partner, whatever you refer to your spouse or your significant others to as, If you want them to do certain things and to change, are you providing the finance for that? Like, you want me to do my hair every 2 weeks. Are you going to be providing the finance for that? Or you want me to work and use the money for it? Absolutely not. Unless it's something that I like. And then two, are you just saying it because you want to show off to other people? Because I know for sure I rather take care of my household, which means my rent, my bills, and my essentials has to be taken care of before anything else. I could care less my nails look horrible, you know. But if that's what you like, give me the money. Give me the money. If you're providing me the finance and you're asking me to do it and I don't do it, then yeah, you have every right to be mad. But if you're not providing me the finance and you're just sitting there talking about, I like this, well, you can like it all you want. You will keep seeing this ugly face all day because I am not changing anything. And I think that's where, and people don't pick the right moment. That's why I said time, it affects relationship. There are certain time that you can pick certain conversation to have with your partner. You can't just, especially somebody you and them are arguing and then you blow that out. Oh, you don't do your hair. Wow, yeah, let's see how I'm gonna do it. Or you don't do your nails. You don't wear good clothes. When was the last time you went and bought me a shirt that you think I should wear and look beautiful in it? So I think people just have to understand, although change is hard, but each individual is responsible in their relationship to make sure that change it get disseminated effectively. You can't just put change on me and then you want me to accept it. No, give me time to adjust. And then also, if you're asking me to do certain things, don't expect it to change over time because habits are something that are built over time and it takes time. I don't know if you guys have heard, it takes 21 days to break a bad habit. 21 days to break bad habit if you really focus on it. It takes 21 days to break a bad habit. 21 days. So if you're asking me if I'm somebody who smokes, you think I just started smoking? No, I've been smoking for years. So you can't just tell me, I don't want you to smoke anymore. Well, you met me this way, and this is how people say, this is how you met me. Now you want me to change? You can't expect me to change. This is how you met me. But if you got into the relationship and you said, I care about you a lot. I think you and I can make a great, partnership in this life. And I want to be with you. So that's why I'm going to make this relationship work. But I also know that the habit that you have that you smoke is going to affect our relationship. Is that something over the course of time you're willing to give up? I think how people communicate is what affects the changes and then the timing of things. Like you can't ask, it's kind of like a lady is in the middle of pushing a baby out and you say, when are you going to lose the weight? I'm pushing a baby out. You think I care about weight right now? No, I don't. All I want to do get this baby out, breathe, drink water, and feel like a human being again. You have no idea what it feels like to carry the child for 9 or 10 months. So don't ask me when I'm losing the weight. And this is why women get mad. And I also think the timing of certain things, like you don't understand that when women just give birth, they go through a chemical change within their bodies, postpartum. And I know that's something in our community we don't talk about. You just say, oh, what happened to her? She don't even like the baby. No, your brain and everything that you went through that course of you bringing a child into the world, all that process you went through, it all hits you like a thunder bridge. And now you're thinking like, man, look at me. Why am I here? There's a whole lot that goes on with people. So again, it's how you bring the conversation. Change is inevitable. We all have to change, but it's the way we communicate it. Let's see what's the next one you said. Was there ever a time you saw a guy and say to yourself, I wish my husband looked dress or act like this dude. Let's be honest. We all have. Guilty. We all have. But mine was, I can tell you, Morris Chestnut. So it has never been a guy in reality. You know, when I say reality, like someone I've seen physically. I seen a guy in a movie like, why he not like that? He said, then go find him. I told you guys, our relationship, we say things out loud and we both know how to handle that. So it's like it just blur out. Morris Chestnut, even to this day I tell him, I was like, why you can look like Morris Chestnut? Oh my gosh. Yes. So I've had that moment. I have told him and I keep telling him. And he himself, he did it back just to hurt my feelings. And I've seen a woman on TV and said the same thing. And said, why you give me that? I said, listen, I look way better than her. You cannot deem my life, please. He tried, but he can't. He gets in his feelings. I'm like, why you give me the Morris Chestnut? That man looks so smooth. So let me stop. Yes. And I think it's about how you have that conversation, right? Again, it's all about what you say to people, you know, and picking the right moment. There are certain moments that you can tell someone, ah, look at you, that's good. No, you actually really do. Actually, I haven't really seen your moment, but looking at your picture, when you're on the live, you do look, I don't know who yet you look like, but you do look like um a Nigerian actor. You do. There's one guy, I can't remember his name, but you do look like him. My people, my African people are calling me. You're not sleeping yet. You're still calling me. Jesus, you better go sleep. But yeah, there are times where you blur at things. And I will tell you, there are times, I think it has happened once. We went for a walk and there was a guy passing. We both laughed. He looked at me. I looked at him. I was like, he looked nice. And then he's like, oh, shut up, Felicia. So yes, it does happen. But is it innocent or are you serious? If you're serious, if that's something you like, that's something that should have been discussed in the beginning. For me, in our household, I already told him and I said that to him. I will make sure my stomach don't be big. You gotta make sure you don't grow stomach. So when the stomach start growing, I start telling him, I said, it come me on. It come me. How? You better work on it because that's not what I like. Fear myself broke up, put me in trouble again. Yeah. Yes, I have done it and I've said it. And but there's a golden rule in our house. You should be self-aware. When you start gaining your weight, you better start working on it because I don't know if it's safe for me to say this. My husband be like, nobody would be looking for anything yet. So just make sure. Oh God, I cracked myself up. But yeah, time and change, understanding that love is not, I don't think relationship was built for just people to say, oh, I'm in love. Love is part of the perks that comes with relationship, but it's not the sole purpose of relationship. Relationship, in my opinion, is about building that partnership, conquering the world together, whatever that looks like for you and your family. Like, but don't say, oh, the person don't love you anymore. Yes, there are moments you don't love that person. You have to accept that. That's part of change. That's gonna happen to your relationship. But change can be positive and negative. Like what River Pro said that happened to that woman, that was a negative change. And when those negative change comes and it's you don't ask for change to be malicious because there are some people who genetically they're not going to be small. Like I know genetically I'm glad like I look this way because now I feel like at work, people actually respect me a little bit. That's why I try to keep a little bit of my weight because when I am I'm 5'2", I'm short. So can you imagine a short person has that, and my face look like a little girl, and then I'm there giving you instruction. I mean, like, and these people can be my mom and dad, or even my grandparents. So I'll give you guys an example. Since I took on this new team, there's a 75-year-old lady there that works, and she feels like she's tired and she can't handle the work, the weight of the work. So I had a conversation with her. Maybe she needs to decide to transfer, or to switch her shift to a day shift, which is easier for her because my second shift is when we do a whole lot. So, and I can't do favoritism because you're 75 years old. You're 75 years old. You came to work. You made that decision. I know people will say, "Oh, I mean, she's old." No, when we're and she's from Ghana. So she looked me in my face on Friday and said, "I think the whole time you got here, your plan is to get rid of me." And that didn't sit well with me because that is never my goal. What? So I called her to my office and we sat, we had a conversation. Of course, I had somebody else there because, you know, things can be lost in translation. People know how to twist your words around. So I was like, I really want to understand what you mean by that. Since I got here, I want to get rid of you. Um, oh, because the people that was here before you came and your management came and took over, they only let me do a little bit for 6 hours and I go home. And I said, listen, the very first day I took on this team, I told you guys, I'm fair, firm, and all about equalness. So if you're here, you're not about that, you have a lot to think about. Two, I understand you're 75 years old, and I don't want to use your weight your age to use it as no, you can't handle the job, because then you're gonna say I'm discriminating against you, right? So I have nothing against you. We've never met before. This is where we're meeting. I have to be fair because other people are watching. They're going to report me and say, one, she's giving her lesser work and I am. And I have another lady your age that work first shift and she does the exact same thing that I just asked you to do. So, I mean, in other words, she said those words in order to kind of manipulate me in a way, in my opinion. You said those words to manipulate me so I can say, oh no, you do this and do that. No, we can't do that. We have to be fair because one, if there's another person your age is doing exactly what I ask you to do during the day shifts, and you're here, but you're only saying that because you find out I'm from Africa too. And I know how this game is played. Everybody's from Africa. Oh, there's an African manager, a lady from Africa. She's the manager. She's going to do favoritism. No, I can't do that. You get the same paycheck like everybody else. So if you feel like this job is a lot for you, then I think you need to reach out to your doctor to get recommendations of things that you're able to do and to see if I'm able to accommodate that. But in the meantime, this is what your task is. So it's the same thing that goes with communicating. Some people are going to say, because now you saw someone else in the community and how they look, you want to compare me to that, and this is what you want me to do. You want to get rid of me. Some people use that tool. And I will also say some people use changes as a way to break their relationship. Some people really want to leave their relationship. And the easiest way for them to do that is to try to pinpoint on certain things and nags about it. So, going back to the topic, how does time and change? There are many ways change and time affects our relationship, but it's all about how we communicate. How do we effectively manage change in time? Is by being open and honest about how we communicate our needs to each other, and also being acceptance of those people that is going to take a longer time for most people to accept those change that comes around in life. So if you're not ready for to understand that change is something that's gonna happen, then I don't know if you should be even living, because everything around you, surrounding you, is going to change. It's how you accept it and how you communicate that. And one, the best way to communicate, like I said to you guys, I went through Dale Carnegie, and they tell you win a friend with a smile, and by allowing that person to talk about themselves. Like if you meet a friend, you smile, you make sure you have eye contact and say, "Hey, how are you?" Same thing, if you're communicating with someone, you don't just talk past them. You want certain things to change, like how somebody talked to you. You don't just say it during when you're angry. You have to pick the proper time. And you have to know that every day time is going. You can't be doing the same thing you did. Every New Year come, oh, New Year, we start over. Yes. So you always have to look at your relationship towards the end of the year, and you have to make sure you try to see what are some of those areas relationship that you guys have sat down and really, you know, dig deep and talk about it and exhaust every option to figure out how is time change affecting you. And then River Rose said, between a man and a woman, who do you think is under some pressure to adapt to change? Who is most negatively perceived in society as being careless with themselves? Hmm, that's a good one. So if I was comparing both men and women, I think men are looked at to just accept, especially when it comes to relationship and the changes that happen. Men are expected to accept those changes regardless of whatsoever. I think society put a whole lot on men to just accept it. Like, how dare you tell her about that? How dare you do that? You know what she's going through. And I also think men is also part of this because they made society to drag it on. I think if somebody just stood up and said, no, I'm not accepting that. This is what my needs and my needs are important as much as my partner needs is important. And we need to sit and talk about it. So I think men has the pressure to accept change, to adapt to whatever change comes in a relationship. And he said, who is negative perceived in society as being careless with themselves? Um, I think men are not under the microscope, especially when it comes to if we're let's talk about the elephant in the room, weight, which is one of the biggest change in relationship that's always talked about. I think men do not get the negative lashes when it comes to weight. Even if a man was in a relationship, they say, "Oh, it's because he's satisfied. He's gaining weight. His stomach is very happy." But when a woman started gaining weight, you know, they are perceived negative as being careless. They're not putting time in to take care of themselves. So it's kind of like a catch 22. Men are looked at to not accept it, but then women are looked at not taking care of themselves. And before I close on this, let me just say this. The best way for anybody in a relationship, in my opinion, to adapt to those changes that come and want to work on it, I think men need to understand and learn how to communicate their needs. I think men swallow a lot of hard pills and they don't want to communicate it because they're like, they don't want to hurt your feelings. But everybody needs to make sure that they are comfortable. Relationship is a long road. It's a contract. It's a social contract that you sign with somebody else. And you're like, this is what, and in that moment you're together, you are happy. It's kind of like you sign up for a business and the business is booming. In this moment, when you're looking at the vision of the business, which you should always be branding, right? That's another thing too. You should always be branding. So your marriage or your relationship is a contract and it's a business between both of you guys. So if that contract you're not able to rebrand and make sure it stay marketable, how do you even like keep it moving? So in order for you to even help each other out, because you're gonna walk through this life together. If the business is doing great, everybody's doing great. If the business is doing bad, everybody's doing bad. So I feel like people should look at relationship in that sense, right? You should look at it in a way where it's like, my relationship is not growing. Jimmy, you came on and left. I'm about to close, man. So if you're looking at the relationship in that sense and you're not ready for it, then don't jump into it. So you both should know how to communicate. You should be able to give a helping hand to an individual that you're with, that you say you care about and you want to be there for them. And these changes that you're requesting for should be beneficial to that person as well. It shouldn't just benefit you. So you should look at it. People are more acceptable to things that they know is beneficial to them. So if you're not able to market those change to your partner, how do they accept it? They can't accept it. So in closing, River Pro, thank you so much for those questions. Between a man and a woman, who do you think it's under pressure to adapt to change? Men. Society urges men to adapt to all the changes that comes, regardless of whatsoever. And they do not want you to cry about it or anything. You shouldn't have any say into it. The change happens, just accept it. Just know that it's part of life. But then women are not given the same strict hand to say, you gotta accept it. If his stomach got big, it got big. If he lost his job, you got to accept it. But if a woman lost her job, that's a change that a man has to man up. And guess what? Get maybe work 2 to 3 jobs to keep up with the household. But if a woman was with a man, some women, I shouldn't say all, some women are going to say, no, I'm leaving that relationship. I literally watched a video online, a lady saying that she broke up her marriage of 10 years because he lost his income. Again, it's a business contract, right? Maybe part of the contract was you keep an income coming in. She said I gave him 3 months. He couldn't find a nice job and to keep up with the bills, so I quit the relationship. What do you say to that? That is part of life change. So again, that's why I said if people are not understanding that everything in life is changing every day, every hour, every second, every minute, there are changes happening. If you have a plan on how you adjust to those changes and the time that it takes for those things to happen, then, my friend, you have a successful life you're going to be living and happy and not too stressed. But if you're someone who don't understand that, then guess what? You adjust. The other day, I watched the news. There were people protesting. They work in the human service, like they are cleaners. They clean the hotels and hospitals. And you heard them saying, "Oh, we don't get paid a lot. They still expect us to, clean, come to work and do that. They need to increase our pay, and it's not fair to us." First thing people are saying, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, they're right. They should get paid a lot." No. And then they're saying, "Oh, the people that are managing these people, they make more money." Listen, and listen very carefully before I close. You guys listen very carefully. One, nobody forced you in that field. I know. I am a realist, you guys. No one forced you in that field. You have a choice. If somebody's not paying you what it is you're supposed to pay, you have a choice to leave. They're not forced to increase your pay rate. This is based on performance and also things that are happening within the organization. So you crying and saying, "Oh, how do we afford our family? How do we pay for this?" I understand everybody want to be understanding and helpful, but that is not their problems. That is your problem to think about. This is why you have to have a plan for your life. You have to have a plan for your life. You have to plan. And if you're a Christian, you're not planning your life, you're in some trouble. You need to plan. And as you plan, you know why you plan? You plan because change is happening every day. And certain things are there for a time being. There's certain time associated to certain things. So you have to plan. And within that plan, you need to adjust yourself and be there. Okay? You have to have a plan. You guys, I need to close. My baby girl need me. So, with that being said, time and change is inevitable, and we are all going to go through it. One, you need to have a vision for your relationship. You, as a person, need to have a vision of what you see your relationship as. And the other person needs to have a vision of their own. And then together, you got to meet to have that vision for your relationship. When you have an individual vision for that relationship, you know what vision is? Vision is something you see that nobody else sees for your relationship. And if you have that, and your partner have that, and you both sit and look at it and say, ah, it's parallel, it's the same. Then now you start looking at those two separate visions for that relationship, and you start to look at it. And then you guys start to build a vision for that unit. Once you build that and you have a plan and you understand it, any change that comes is a breeze. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you share the show. Sorry, you guys. Yesterday, I went for one of my very close friend. Her daughter had her sweet 16. It was absolutely beautiful. We couldn't miss it. We had to go. So I tried to have the show in the car, but then I didn't have any, like signal. But we came back last night anyways. So we definitely had the show today. So you guys, thank you all for watching. River Says Pro, shout out to you. Thank you for always coming, sharing, and giving us the hard questions that we need to answer. And you guys, you will always go through changes. It's how you adjust. The crown's gonna be falling. It's how you adjust it. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your continuous support. September 29 will mark our 1 year of having this podcast. And I have something that I'm planning. Maybe we're going to do call in where people win stuff from Liberia. You can call in. I will have some trivia questions that I'm going to put together and about the show, some topics we've discussed. If you can tell us who said what and what, then we will. But I'll put that together and then we'll have few people doing that. Also, I know I don't ask you guys a lot. I really appreciate you guys if you give us stars. I would like to share that stars at the end of the year. Probably add something on it and give it to a charity. So if you're watching and you like the content that we bring here, we greatly will appreciate your support by giving us stars or by just reviewing our thing. You can go on Facebook, you can leave a review about this podcast, and then share your thoughts on how has it helped you? Has it helped you at all? Or what is something new that you've learned on here? If that's something that you're able to do, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. You have a great, great evening and a great week ahead. Happy, 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 happy Sunday. And thank you so much. Bye bye.